Hey everyone, today you'll be learning about the major groups of vertebrates.
Hello world, I'm Christopher Rodriguez. I'm one of the creators of Animals in Time, and I'm here to give you a 24-part video series describing common scientific topics in ways everyone can understand. I'll be giving you the what, the how, and the why you should care about all these topics. Now, this 24-part series will correspond with Animals in Time Volume 1. However, you do not need to be using Animals in Time resources to benefit from these videos. So, let's get started.
So last week I talked about invertebrates, remember? And they were all pretty nasty. Leeches and parasites and insects and sea stars and such. Today, I'll be talking about vertebrates, and I promise they're a lot cuter. Usually. Plus, you're a vertebrate, so you'll be learning about you. Unless you're a slug or something. Okay, if you're a slug, please stop watching and go and watch last week's video instead. There are 5 main types of vertebrates: fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, and birds. You probably know most of those already. What all these animals have in common is that they're all vertebrates, meaning they all have backbones. Backbones, or vertebrae, are a long string of bones that run down your back. It's also called your spine. Your backbone basically holds together your entire body. It connects your head, your shoulders, your arms, your ribs, your pelvis, and your legs. Without backbones, we'd all just be a bunch of big puddles lying around. Sure glad I have one. I think I do. Wait, where is it? Your backbone is also super important because it carries instructions from your brain down to the rest of the body. You know how your siblings run their fingers down your back when you're slouching? The reason it feels so weird is because there are these little stringy things called nerves that run down your backbone and connect your brain to all the parts of your body. Your arms, your hands, your fingers, your legs, your feet, even your toes. Wait, what? Your siblings don't do that to you? Yikes. Well, hopefully you don't blame me for giving them the idea, because they'll probably do it as long as you live. First, we have fish. Pretty easy, right? I mean, they're basically just little blobs with fins that swim around and blow bubbles and eat fish food. Unfortunately, there are a lot of animals that are called fish or even look like fish but aren't really fish at all. Real fish have scales, fins, live underwater, and breathe through these little flaps called gills that helps them filter air out of the water. Of course, there are exceptions, but we won't get into those right now. It's not pretty. Next, we have amphibians. That might seem like a long word, but I guarantee you know what amphibians are. Frogs, salamanders, and caecilians are all amphibians. They have to live near the water so that their skin stays nice and wet and so that they can lay their eggs. A cool thing about amphibians is that they can breathe through their skin. Who needs a snorkel? Actually, I do. I can't breathe through my skin. Now we have reptiles. Things like snakes, lizards, crocodiles, alligators, turtles, tortoises, even dragons. No, not real dragons. Komodo dragons. Real dragons don't exist. I hope. Some reptiles can even take off their arms or legs and regrow them. Watch. Guess I'm not a reptile. Rats. Now, rats are mammals, and so are elephants, whales, tigers, dolphins, mice, cats, dogs, wolves, lions, tigers. Oh yeah, and those humans. All mammals have hair or fur and give milk to their babies. Mammals are warm-blooded, which means our bodies adjust to temperatures to keep us warm. All the other vertebrates are cold-blooded, which means that they have to move to a warm place to get warm. Their bodies don't adjust for them. Finally, we have birds. You know what birds are. There's those little fluffy things that fly around and eat birdseed and wake you up at 3 in the morning because they think it's time for a concert. It's not that hard to distinguish a bird. Birds have beaks, talons, and feathers so that they can fly. Finally, an easy animal. Actually, there are exceptions like ostriches and kiwis. Those can't fly. So you have to watch out for those. Now that we know all the main types of vertebrates, fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, and birds, we can probably figure out what kind of animals Amber the ant, Baron the bear, Cora the caterpillar, Daniel the duck, Ella the eagle, and Fernando the frog are. Let's see, Fernando has that wet, slippery skin, so he's probably an amphibian. Both Ella and Daniel have feathers, so I bet they're birds. Now, Baron has all that thick fur, remember? So I'm gonna guess he's a mammal. And then we have Cora and Amber. Wait a minute, they're insects. They're not even vertebrates, they're invertebrates like last week. I knew that. In the science page for the Animals in Time Volume 1 activity book, you'll be doing the same thing. So I basically just gave you all the answers. No need to thank me, just subscribe. Hint, hint. Come back next week because I'll be talking about eggs. It will be very egg-citing.